That
is the 2025 MacBook Air refreshed with Apple M4.
M4.
Yeah. And I think blue seems to be kind of like Apple's color.
It's like a cycle because we've seen that color before.
Yeah.
But
iPhone
13?
13 Pro?
Pro?
Sierra Blue? Yeah. That was a good phone.
Yeah. It was a great phone.
That was a good phone. And this color does actually remind me of that. But yeah, this is Apple's most popular laptop. It might be one of the most popular laptops, I think, in the entire world.
Outside of the $150 Chromebook, yes.
Okay. The MacBook Air is absolutely iconic, right? It's been refreshed in a lot of really good ways with a cheaper price tag.
I honestly knew Apple and cheaper in the same sentence.
That's
hear
almost
that
illegal.
often. Yeah, you don't hear that
That's
often,
almost illegal. So in the last couple of months, we've seen Apple drop 5 new products.
Oh yeah, 2025.
We've gotten around to, I think, 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of 2
that we can say
that they might have hit it out of the park with.
I agree.
Yeah, let's get into the details.
Let's start. Now, if there's one thing that this computer did that it's not new and is honestly not a bad thing, it's a design. The design looks exactly the same as the previous M3 MacBook Air with both 13 and 15-inch models.
Yep.
But I wouldn't freak out. If anything, we were talking about this before we started filming. The design of this computer is so elegant, is so clean, so sleek, and even though it's not a pro model, it feels so well built that it's thin and yet it doesn't feel like it's going to bend and fold and break. It's light and you can take it anywhere. If you get a 13-inch model, you can put it in your backpack, in a portfolio, things like that. It just works. And it's, oh man, it's one of those things that
it's such a classy laptop.
It really is. And I have a MacBook Pro and I have no excuse to get a MacBook Air. But it looks so great, especially with the new color. But you still have your 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the side. You have your headphone jack. You have the new MagSafe charger. You have a full trackpad with the scissor key mechanism. You have Touch ID. And you have a new FaceTime 12 megapixel center stage camera.
Yeah.
Which is always welcomed.
Yeah. Now, you know how you can actually tell this MacBook apart from the previous model, like the M3?
Is it in the box?
Nope.
Oh.
In classic Apple fashion, it's the color of the laptop. This sky blue that we have on the table, this was not a color that's available for the M3 MacBook Air.
And it's great.
Yeah. So the color that is missing in this year's lineup is space gray.
That's the one color that Apple never got right.
Yeah, so I think they still have the silver, they have the sky blue, they have starlight, and they still have that midnight color, I believe.
Like a dark.
It's like a dark bluish black, very, very dark blue. Yeah.
Dark blue.
Yeah, yeah. But this is the new color for the M4. It looks so nice. I think we have the same personal computer, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. We have this. It's the space black, right?
But I have the 14-inch.
I think I have the 14-inch as well.
Oh, yeah, we do have the exact same computer.
We have the exact same personal computer, the M3 Max. Mm-hmm. Yeah, space black MacBook Pro. When I took this thing out of the box, I was like, I kind of want a MacBook Air.
I know.
Yeah.
But there's no reason.
It does something to you. And you know what else? This is also, it's worth noting, it's been present for the previous MacBook Air models as well. It's a fanless Mac. So it feels really thin.
And it has no noise.
But super sturdy. And it's never going to make any noise, right? So if you're doing anything on it where it's going to get a little bit more intensive, it's going to throttle the performance of the CPU rather than kick up the fans because it doesn't have any.
Right.
But all in all, the MacBook Air is so nice.
Well designed.
Design perspective.
Well built.
It's legendary.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I really like what's going on here from a performance perspective as well.
Big time.
Right? The MacBook Air has a really good balance of giving you what you need, not necessarily going over the top and raising the price tag, which I think is great. So guess what? There's an M4 in here now instead of last year's M3.
I'll take that.
Meaning it's also built for Apple Intelligence because the M3 is also built for Apple Intelligence.
It's like their motto of 2024 into 2025.
Yeah, but you get the nice bumps that come with like a 1 year newer chipset, right? So it's going to be slightly faster. It's going to be slightly better on battery life. I think like Apple's own ratings say that this gets like 45 minutes more worth of like battery.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too much. You probably won't even notice it in the day-to-day. Battery life on the MacBook Air is fantastic, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All-day computer, couple-day computer, 3-day computer, for sure, right? Especially for what I feel like most people are going to use it for.
Right.
And then obviously you have really nice comforts as well. The display I think is really good. It's not a ProMotion display,
Right.
but it's still really good. It gets plenty bright. It's vivid. It's colorful. It's a great display, right? Still the same liquid retina, like IPS LCD panel, right? Pretty standard for the MacBook Air, but still looks great even in 2025. Like you said as well, Touch ID and stuff like that. So you get a lot of really good things here.
Right. It's like a premium package, yet without making everything be so overcomplicated and using their pro level features to keep it within the certain price range to not be a pro model. I honestly, because we mentioned this, we touched on it earlier, how with certain things, if you use this computer for something super intensive, the computer might throttle just so it doesn't get super warm and it doesn't affect the components since there's no fans. I get why that may sound concerning, but I'll say this: if there's anything that you need that will put this computer to that point where it throttles, to the point where you need that extra power, to the point that, hey, you know what, let me pull a ice pack under this computer because it's getting a little warm, that you got the wrong computer. And I'm speaking to maybe the 5% of the audience right now, because majority of people are going to be perfectly fine with a computer like this one. And I'm talking education, I'm talking just normal online shopping, websites, social media, streaming.
The M4 is going to blast through those things
and
with
it's
no problem.
like nothing, nothing. And yeah, it might be slightly better than last year's model, but last year's model was really good too.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that is such a well built and reliable computer that it is going to get better, but I wouldn't expect anything crazy since it was already in a really good spot before.
Yeah, and I think even in like a pinch, I have the M4 iPad Pro.
Right.
That obviously doesn't have fans either. You can still edit videos in like Premiere Rush. You can do photo editing and stuff like that, and it's gonna go smoothly, just fine, right? I haven't experienced any throttling on my M4 iPad Pro.
Right.
And I've had no performance issues whatsoever with this computer either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the type of computer that's going to be a daily workhorse for 4K video editing and exporting? No. But if that's your workflow, you already know that this is in your computer.
Right.
So this is a fantastic computer. And another thing, starting unified memory now, 16 gigs instead of 8, which is what we saw in the M3 MacBook Air.
It only took them like a lot of years.
Several generations of Apple Silicon to jump up to 16 gigs of unified memory. I actually really like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, me too.
Yeah, and I think you can expand it a little bit further as well compared to the M3. So like the maximum limit is something like 32 or 36 gigs. It used to be
24
for
Airs.
I think it's like 36.
It's 32.
32? Yeah. It was one of those two numbers. But now you can expand it to 32 gigs of unified memory, which is more than the 24.
Yeah. No, it's a great product.
It really is.
The question is this product for you? And if you're watching this video, I'm thinking because you're considering upgrading, or you're considering getting this computer, or maybe it's a purchase for someone in your family that it's going to school soon. I think those are perfectly valid scenarios. I think people tend to focus on upgrading in the sense of changing year after year.
No, if you have an M3 MacBook Air, you should not buy this computer.
And computers are not like that.
Yeah.
If you are, good for you, man. Give me some money.
Yeah.
But if you're like the rest of us, you don't do that, because these computers are meant to last.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a computer, let's say that you haven't upgraded your computer in maybe 3 to 4 years.
You have like an M1. Absolutely. Or even like an Intel MacBook Air.
Oh, yeah. That's big time. It is big time. Because the Intel stopped at 2019.
Yeah.
Change, upgrade, and get this computer. It is a really good computer. And if anything, one of the things that we were talking about once I was using this computer for testing, there's something about new computers that makes me want to go to Amazon and go on a shopping spree and just buying everything I see.
Yeah.
I think it's like it just like fuels my consumerism for some reason, and it just makes me buy everything.
You want to go to a coffee shop?
Yeah, like
buy a chai latte.
That
I'm gonna 25 years writing a book you're never gonna publish,
and take 2 sips and throw it away because it got warm.
Stare out the window as it rains and just have philosophical thoughts that you never talk about.
This is for you.
Yeah.
If that's you, this computer is for you.
Maybe you're wearing a beanie and a scarf.
Let me skateboard to the park. I am really shocked that Apple was able to achieve something that, even though it's not revolutionary, it stayed within their frame, and if anything, it went lower than previous years.
Yeah.
And still delivers something that's up to date and a little bit more.
Lower price is big, right? M3 MacBook Air started at $1099. I was
not expecting that.
M3 MacBook Air started at $1099.
Yeah.
For 8 gigs of unified memory, 256 gigs of storage, right? This one got the M4, got twice the unified memory,
right,
kept the same base storage, got the 12 megapixel center stage selfie camera upgrade,
yeah,
got the new color and stuff like that, dropped $100 in price point. So for 13 inch, $999, 15 inch, $1199.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting that for, what was it, $1199 on the 13 inch,
yep,
you can upgrade to 512 even if storage is a concern. I know there's a bunch of cloud-based software out there. 256 is good.
If you want to use just cloud-based software.
512 makes me a lot more comfortable, right? Especially if you're going to keep this and maybe store documents and files and photos for a few years. 512 makes me a lot more comfortable.
Right.
$12.99. No, $11.99. $1,200.
Yeah.
I can go on Apple's website right now and spec out the new iPad Air for more expensive. I think if you go and get an iPad Air, Wi-Fi only, in blue, 13 inch, 512, it's $1,099.
Yeah, $100.
You haven't bought a keyboard, you haven't bought an Apple Pencil yet. This is the go-to, unless you absolutely have to have a touchscreen.
Which nowadays, maybe it's because of a trendy thing, but if you can get away with a computer, which
or if you just really like to draw, like I think for creatives that want to use the pencil, for creatives that want to use the pencil, but this is Apple's new returning value champion. The MacBook Air was a legendary computer for a long time. This is a true return to form.
It stays on top.
Yeah. You love to see it.
But let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have a current Apple computer, and if you're upgrading, tell us which one you're thinking of getting. There's also the M4 MacBook Pro. So there's plenty of options out there. There's also desktop versions like the Mac Studio that just came out. So let us know what you're thinking. If you have anything in mind that you want us to review, please let us know as well. We do have a couple more things that are non-Apple, finally, that we're going to get to review soon. So stay tuned. Follow us, share, like. Love you.
Yep. Ready to go write a book in a coffee shop?
Let's do it.
All right.
Till the next
one. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
What's going on?
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm not using that as a blooper.
Hopefully you think. Honestly, didn't even register in my head whenever you said that.